One of the most difficult part when it comes to trading is actually having the right strategy. What I mean by the right strategy is simply a strategy that actually guarantees results, that has been back tested over and over again and has proven to work, and not just some random strategy out there. And when it comes to trading, I think this is the most difficult thing for a lot of traders out there, simply being able to decide which strategy exactly should they trade and why should they trade that particular strategy. And now the truth is that, well, you are not the only one going through that. A lot of us who started trading also fell into that level. And for that particular reason, in this video, I'll be giving you two trading strategies. Now, these are strategies that I have personally tested, I have personally used over and over again, and has proven to work, that I'm about sharing with you in this video. But note this, none of this strategy will give you 100% win rate. For you to get a good result out of any of these strategies, you have to be disciplined, follow the rules and every single thing for you to get the results out of them. Now, the reason why I'm giving you two in this video, despite me currently trading only one of them, is simple. We all are two different people, so the strategy I like might not be the strategy you like. So for that particular reason, I'll be giving you these two strategies for you to pick one from it. Now, our advice is to pick only one, focus on that one. Now, the break and retest strategy is a basically very simple strategy whereby we identify some sort of market movement and then wait for the market to break out of them, comes back to retest them, then we'll get our entry from it. Now, don't be confused. Let me show you a practical example of how the break and retest strategy actually is. So the break and retest strategy, the first one we have is simply the support and resistance break and retest. So for example, you could have a market moving in this manner. So maybe here is your resistance level. Let me just increase it a little bit. Let me delete this off. So basically this white line at the top is your resistance level, and then this white below is your support level. Now, what I mean by the support and resistance break and retest is basically you have a market moving in this manner, a market struggling to break out of this range here. It tests here, comes back down, tests here, come back down, and then so forth and so on. Now, how the break and retest strategy works is basically simple. When the market is moving in this manner, all you basically wait for is simply you wait for this market to break out of either this top here. Now, once the market break out immediately, you don't get in, because getting in could lead you to be trapped in what we call the fake out, whereby this market breaks out and then quickly comes back inside. So that in order to avoid this kind of trap, this is why I recommend the breakout and retest system. Now, how this one works is basically simple. All you basically need to do is simply wait for the market to keep ranging. Now, when the market range in between this level, and then it eventually break out of either of the level, the next thing you do is simply you sit back and then wait for this market to come back to retest this level again. Now, once the market comes back and retests the level it broke out from, you patiently wait for an engulfing bullish candle. So for example, if we look at this case right now, the market broke out of the resistance area. So since it broke out of the resistance area, what you basically have to wait for as a trader is simply you basically wait for the market to give you a bullish close. So once the market comes back to retest this high and then gives you a bullish close facing upward, then you can basically come in as a buyer and then just get in here. Keep your stop loss right below the last low here, and then next up is simply you target the old high that the market created before the ranging period. Now you just set your entry like this. Now once you set it up like this, in order for you to avoid fear, here's one thing you need to note. With this sort of strategy, one thing the market often does is that the market frequently ranges around here for a short period of time before it eventually boosts upward. Now, the reason why you have to enter despite this range is simply because after that range is completed within that top level, the market will move with a lot of momentum straight to the upside. So this is the first strategy I have for you here, simply the break and retest strategy. Now, this is the support and resistance break and retest. Now, after this one, we also have what we call the trend break and retest. Now, let me also show you the trend break and retest. Now, when it comes to trading the break and retest, you can basically trade support and resistance break and retest and trend break and retest as well. And you can also combine them to trade as well. So basically for me, I'll be showing you the support and resistance break and retest and then the trend break and retest. Now, from these two, you basically pick each of them and then strictly follow on it. And after that, I'm going to show you the supply and demand that I'm personally trading as well. So now this is the first strategy here. So now let me give you the part B of this strategy. Now, the part A of this break and retest is simply the range break and retest. The next one we have is simply the trend break and retest. So in this scenario, we could have a market moving in this manner here. Now you have this market moving in this manner. So what you basically do in this scenario is simply you get to draw a trend line across like this. Now once you have the trend line across like this, what you basically waiting for here is simply waiting for the market to go, come back, go, come back, and then eventually break out of here. Now you wait for the market to break out of here. When the market breaks out of here, here is the magic here. Once the market breaks out, it creates what we call a market shift for you in the system. Now once it gives you this market shift, all you wait for next is simply wait for this market to come back to retest here. Now once it retests here, you wait for a bearish close, and then you can basically take a short position from here. Now all you can basically do is simply you can then take a short position from this point here. So now let me get it right. So next up from here, you can basically take a short position like this. Okay, so you can just have your short position taken from where the market closed, and then keeping your stop loss right above the trend line like this. Now these are the break and retest system that I'm actually talking about. So let me show you a typical example of it here using the GBP JPY chart. Now here's a GBP JPY, here's it here, and now here's how the break and retest actually looks on GBP JPY. Now basically you can see the market had this mini uptrend here. Now you see, once this market had this trend, you can see after the market makes this break out of the trend here, you don't get in immediately. What you basically wait for is simply you wait for the market to come back and then come and retest the trend line that it broke out from. Once the market break out like this bearish close here becomes your selling entry. You can see it here, this area here becomes your selling entry. Your stop loss comes right at the top here, and then the next thing you simply do is simply you target this low here as your take profit, the previous low here as your take profit. Or you can just look for a 1:3 and then basically sit on. So if you are target this low before, you would have gotten your 1:3 as well. So this is simply how this trend break and retest work. Now this trend break and retest is just the same as the support and resistance break and retest, but then this one is the trend version and then the other one is the support and resistance version. Now this is one of the strategies I said I will share with you, because I said I will be sharing two with you, so this is just one of them. The A of this strategy is simply the support and resistance break and retest. And then the second one is simply the trend break and retest. Now, I personally tested this strategy over and over again, and I will tell you that what these two strategies, to me, they were more effective to me on the 50-minute time frame. Yes, if you are trading the 50-minute time frame or the 5-minute time frame, they are way more effective on lower time frames as compared to higher time frames. But then you can also go do your own back testing and then get their data on the higher time frame as well. One thing you should always look out for in this sort of strategy is that what this strategy at times they require what we call a high stop loss position, or stop loss might require some more pips as compared to the other strategy I'll be sharing with you later on. And another thing is simply this strategy have a lot of fake outs. What I mean by fake out is simply the market act like it's breaking out, but it doesn't break out. And the only way you can avoid this fake out is by following my instruction. It's simply don't get in on the first breakout. Wait for this first breakout to go as low as possible, get to where it wants to get to, and then when the market comes back to retest the trend line, that is when you take your trade. So until the market gives you this pattern, don't get in. If not, you'll be trapped in a lot of fake outs over and over again. So now this strategy is also a very basic strategy, very simple to follow, but then it requires a lot of discipline, because unlike the first strategy I showed you, that strategy might give you a lot of trade in a day, but this liquidity supply and demand requires a lot of patience for you to get good, for you to get your setup to be triggered. And when your setup triggers, trust me, the result is always awesome. So now this strategy is basically simple, and let me give you a drawing outline of it. So what we do in this strategy is simply, first of all, we wait for the market to give us a change of movement, meaning the market should either switch from a downtrend to an uptrend, or basically continuing its uptrend movement. So now let me give you the first instance of this strategy. So let me say the market is creating what we call higher highs like this, and then it's not taking out any of its highs in this manner. So once you see a market moving in this manner like this, now what you basically do is simply mark the market movement. So maybe this first switch here could be where it created what we call the market shift. Now this market shift is also known as what we call the break of structure. Maybe this switch here is where it made that first market shift during the process. I mean, the market shift is known as your change of character and not break of structure. Now after this, then you get what we call the break of structures. So you quickly identify all these break of structures in the market. Now, once you have all these breakout structures ready, the next thing you look for is simply you look at the direction you mark these breakout structures to. So, for example, in this scenario, I mark my market shift and my breakout structures to the upside, which basically means that what the market is an uptrend. So, since it's an uptrend, I'm looking for a buying opportunity, meaning that what I should always be looking for buys, meaning I'm not interested in going short. Now, once I have this in mind, the next thing is simply identifying my level. So since the market is an uptrend, then I should be looking for what? My demand levels, because the market is going up, so I'm demanding to buy and not willing to sell, which is I don't have anything to sell off. I'm only looking forward to buy. So for this particular reason, the next thing you simply do is simply you identify your demand level. In this scenario here, this becomes your demand level. This previous level becomes your demand level. Now, after you have this as your demand level, the next one the market created here becomes your liquidity level. Now, this is why the strategy is termed as the liquidity supply and demand strategy. Now, you have these two levels like this. Now, the next thing you wait for after identifying these two levels is simply you wait for the market to retrace back to your demand level. So let me just mark it with $sign. Now, the next thing we wait for in this scenario is simply you wait for this market to have a pullback to this level, give you a bullish close. Then once it gives you that bullish close on the whatever time frame you are trading it, then you can actually get your buy, keeping your stop loss right behind the level like this, and then looking at this first high as your take profit level or a solid 1:3 level. Now, this is how this other strategy actually looks like. Now, this strategy really looks basic, very easy to follow, but then you have to wait for days, if not a week, before each of your setup get triggered, and it's not really something easy to wait for. But then if you can wait for it, one thing I love about this strategy is simply you risk less. For every single trade you take, you have a very tiny stop loss position, which makes it very great for someone like me. And secondly, for me, simply it gives me a high risk to reward, meaning I get to target a way longer market movement than I normally do with other setups. Now, with this, let me show you a typical example of it in the market here. Now, here is it. You can see here is a trade I took on GBP Chef. So I took this trade last week, and as we are talking right now, I'm currently up about $100 and something. You can see the screenshot of it from my MetaTrader flashing on your screen right now. So basically, I took this trade last week, and then that was on Friday, so I'm currently holding it across the week. You can see clearly that the market gave me a market shift right here, and then you can see that it created another demand level right here, which I did not identify because this one is supposed to be my liquidity level. So I only stick with the one down here. Now let me go back to the 30-minute time frame as I trade this strategy strictly on the 30-minute time frame. Now, after this, I had my market shift here, I had my demand level here. So you can see that I had to wait for this market to move all the way from here to this very high here. I did not get in, even though I said that the market is an uptrend, I did not get in, and I patiently waited for this market to retrace back to this old demand level, give me a rejection of the level before I took my buy. Now you can see that I took my buy here, and I'm currently holding it across the week. So I'm still holding it across the week, and my stop loss here is about 20 something, a bit 30 pip exactly, because once above 30 pips, I just stay out of it. And this one here, I believe is even below 30 pips because I took the trade when the market was way lower here. After it touched the level, it retraced back, so it was during the retracement that I actually took it. No, but nonetheless, this setup always give me my stop loss maximum is about 25-30 pips. Anything above that, I don't take it again. So basically, my stop loss are always 10 pips, 15 pips, 17 pips most of the time. You rarely come across this sort of ones. So this is simply how the strategy looks for an uptrend market. You can see the market was moving to the upside, so I had to focus on the buying aspect. Now I also have another setup with it. Let me look over here. You can see now here is it in a bearish scenario. You can see in this scenario here, the market is trending downwards. It gave me a market shift here, breakout structure here, two facing downwards, and then next up is simply I mark my supply level. You can see I have my supply level marked here, which is the last bullish candle before this bearish movement. Then I have another supply being created here, which I marked as a liquidity level. So now the next thing is simply I'm waiting for this market to come and tap into this level. Once it taps this level, then I can take my short position as well. So basically, this strategy is very simple and easy. However, it requires a lot of patience for you to actually wait, because just imagine this market move from, okay, it was around here when I identified the level, so I had to wait for it to create this breakout structure, retrace, come back, retrace, come back, until is finally coming close to my level. Now once it gets to this level, I'm not taking it immediately. I'll have to wait for it to tap the level, give me a close outside the level, or any form of candle rejection before I will actually get in. Now if you are really interested in learning more about this strategy, as it requires a lot of knowledge to actually get it working, I already have a full playlist made on it that will be flashing on your screen right now. You can check out my trading playlist. On that playlist, I've made a full video explaining the whole of this strategy, how you can use it, and that. Now this strategy here is something that I've used in various markets. You can see I have a setup with gold here, so you can see I have this setup on gold that I'm waiting for. With the same setup, I have this one I'm waiting for in silver, and then okay, here I no longer have a setup. I cleared it off. So basically this strategy is pretty much a very easy strategy that you can actually follow. You can see I also have a US oil here that I'm waiting for. You can see the market came close but did not tap it, so I still have to stay back and wait for it to tap before I can actually take my trade. Now you can see how simple this strategy is, but then it requires a lot of patience for you to actually get the outcome you desire. So guys, this is it for this particular video. These are the two basic strategies that I will actually advise you trade from. Now know that what, none of this strategy is giving you 100% win rate. Your win rate is determined by how patient you have to wait for your setup and how disciplined you have to actually take each of the trade and also follow them gently. So basically guys, this is all I have for you in this video. If you find this video helpful, then basically smash that subscribe button. Also join my Telegram community where I do drop free trading signals as well. So see you in my next video. Bye.